It's time for our book study on Rise of the False Gods. Tonight we are going to finish up It Takes More Than a Village and go on to But What About Them? If this is your first time joining us for our book study and you like what you see, after it's over, you can go to YouTube and you can see the previous videos on the book because we're already in the 200s on our pages. We're almost done, but you can go and watch the videos right from the beginning. You can order the book on Amazon or you can even get it for free on Kindle if you're Amazon Prime member. At least that's the way it used to be. It's been a while. So anyway, comments and uh, questions are welcome. I may not see them tonight, which means I'll get to them as soon as I'm done with the video and get a chance to review it. But I love it when you pop in and say something, and if you have a question, I like to be there for that too. So I think that's everything. Let's get started. Okay. Last night we left off at talking about the importance of filling the void that people are missing in their life when they feel disconnected, and how that is a major sin, if you want to say sin as defined by Unity, which is an error. So it's a major mistake to think or feel we are separate or disconnected. That's why we have so much pain and suffering today, is because we don't, it's amazing that we don't realize it. But once you wake up to the understanding that we're all one, everything in life changes. It's like a major earthquake when you go, oh my gosh, now I got it. Once we get it, there's no arguing you and me. It's us, it's we. And it gets ended when we learn how to work it out together. So I wanted to start tonight with I'm picking up at the bottom of page 208. And it says a song from 1977, The Greatest Love of All, composed by William Masser and lyrics by Linda Creed, gives us the solution we need today. The lyrics are like a manual for putting family back together. I cannot publish the lyrics here because of copyright law. Gotta follow the law. But I want to share the essence of what the song teaches us. So it says, while children may seem small and may be childlike now, they are our future. And they are. And they live what they learn and they learn what they live. We said that last night. Are we being good examples for them to follow? Are we giving them something to aspire to or to have ambition toward? Ambition is neither right or wrong. It's what you do with it. If you use it to focus on money and stuff and things, then you're missing the point. If you use the ambition to achieve spiritual goals, then you got it. Okay, it teaches us that the children need to have confidence in themselves and a healthy pride. When you were a child, usually by 5 and 6, kids have perfect confidence in themselves. Look at what they learn to do. They learn to walk, they learn to talk. They're like little sponges, sucking up all kinds of good stuff, good information. Where does that self-confidence go? Think for a minute. In your own life, what would have been different if you never lost your sense of self-consciousness, self-confidence? If you lost your self-confidence, what if you didn't? What would your life be like? You would have tried more things, you would have had more accomplishments, you would have broken barriers, you would have not said the words if only. Tui, those words are no good. We don't want if only. We want to go forward, act, follow our dreams, follow our guidance, live on the light side, so that we can produce good. So we want our kids to have a lot of self-confidence, and we want them to have a healthy sense of pride. A healthy sense of pride means you do a job well and you're proud that you did the job. Pride, the unhealthy pride, is thinking you are better than anyone else because you achieved something. No matter how smart we are, no matter how big the accomplishments we ever make, there's always someone who will be able to do it better and faster than we do. It's the way it goes. We all need heroes, someone to be a role model for us. Who are your heroes? I have heroes. Jesus is right up there at the top, of course. And there's Cabot Robert, and there's, Letty Hammock, and the Fillmores, and oh my goodness, I have a bunch of heroes. And because you have a hero doesn't mean you want to become that person or be an imitation of them. You want to be your own true self. If you keep trying to do somebody else, you're missing the mark. And if you're missing the mark in unity, that's what we call sin. I got my kitty proof cup. She can't get into my water now. It's not that I don't love her, it's just the thought that she licks her paws, that she digs around in the litter box with, and then she tries to lick my water cup or drink out of it. It just doesn't do it for me. Okay. Um, so we want to look at who our role models are. My dad, even my mom. She certainly gave me a lot of things to remember that you hear them all the time in our study group. Um, so and then we want to look at who can we inspire? Who can we? I had a quick conversation with my uh, daughter tonight, and I was having I had a heavy day. I try very hard to stay on the light side, and I just see Carla showed up, and that made me happy. I haven't seen her in a while. I've been wondering where she been, but anyway, yeah, there was a heaviness today because I heard that the California and Brazilian strain of the virus appear to be resistant to the vaccination and far more contagious and very dangerous. And I'm getting my second vaccination shot on Saturday. So excited. And then you hear that. I mean, I was making plans to go out to visit my daughter and thinking, oh, good, this is going to be, and then so I've been kind of needy and wanting to talk to her, and she's got a busy life of her own, which I'm so happy for. But I was just like, I said to her, I said, I know, I said, I'm really sorry I'm being so needy, but, um, I know everybody thinks I'm stronger. And she said, Mom, you are blankety blank strong. Young people talk, not that she's that young. But I'm not going to tell you how old she is because then you're going to have a clue how old I am, and that ain't happening. I I share how old I am. Just being funny. Because sometimes you got to be funny. You have to laugh so you don't cry. It's the way life works sometimes, and that is the way it's meant to be. Think of Job. Think of Job. Everything was falling around him, and he just stuck to his guts. I didn't mean to say stuck to his guts, did I? Stuck to his guns. That's what it was. He stuck to his guns. He kept having his faith no matter what, and that's something I hold on to today. Okay. Uh, the song tells us if we can't find that, we are lonely and can find comfort within ourselves. It tells us we need integrity and faith in ourselves and not to be a follower. I love the line in the song where it says, I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. And I just love that. I don't have to walk in anybody's shadow. And how do you know you will never have to walk in anyone's shadow? You let your light shine. And as you let your light shine, the shadows around you just disappear because they're illusions. The shadows are only the standing in a way. It's not really even the absence of light. It's this blockage of light. And the minute that you get past that, bingo, lights are on. Okay. We need to have integrity and faith in ourselves and not be a follower. So we don't want our children to be followers because I mean, you want them to follow the right way. You want them to follow the teaching. You want them to follow their dreams, but you don't want them to follow someone else's dreams. You don't want them to follow a negative energy source. You don't want them to follow their lower consciousness, the lower human sense thinking, carnal thinking, the part that is subject to ego and sensuality and emotion. And again, there's nothing wrong with these things. It's not that you have them, it's what you do with them. And we are on planet Earth to lift them up to a higher level. We call ourselves out to come up higher, and we can call others out to come up higher. Win or lose, it is important to live as we believe. Ah, I love that song. That is one of my favorite songs. I wish I could play it here. I wish I could sing it here. I wish I could sing it anywhere, but not my gift. Finally, the greatest love for ourselves, is within us. I found the greatest love here inside of me. And what if we can teach our children that? And what if we can be that example that other people look at and say, wow, I want to be like that. Well, I'm thinking from what my daughter said tonight, I'm thinking that she thinks that she wants to grow up and be a little bit like me. Little bit anyway. I want to grow up and be like Jesus. I want to grow up and be like a lot of people that inspire me, but most of all, I want to grow up to be my best me ever. Okay, and I move on. Um, okay, if we hear the message within the song, we see these are all things that family can provide. We're talking about family, and yet family, and it takes a village, and it takes more than a village. So we go from a nuclear family to a larger collective to universal oneness in diversity. People are very afraid of the word oneness because they think that everybody's supposed to be like a cookie cutter. Chomp, 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 chomp. No, we are supposed to be our best self, expressing as our best self in the unique way that we were created to be. Okay. Um, so we want to reach in to discover the power within us and reach out to reconnect with our brothers and sisters and all creation on planet Earth. We need that desperately today. We need to figure out how to love the unlovable and get along with the difficult and lift ourselves up when it is we that are the cause of the difficulty. I hate it when that happens, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you a secret to life right now. Take a pencil and write it down. The best way to end an argument and to regain your your center is if you have done something, admit it. If you're having, think of the last person you were having an issue with, okay? And then think about how you would feel if you knew they were wrong and they were arguing back, but all of a sudden they said, "You're right. You're right. It was me. I made a horrible mistake." What happens? Love, love flows out of you and it flows all over them and it covers them and smothers them. And you're not mad anymore because they admitted. And so if you're having an argument, don't waste your time and energy making excuses. Just simply say, "I was wrong." And you're going to find that not only does that argument end, but you ultimately are lifted up inside of yourself and in that other person's mind. I know we never want to be wrong, because if we're wrong, we have the assumption that means we don't measure up, we'll be rejected, there's something wrong with us. No, everybody makes mistakes. Okay. So families are places all this stuff can happen, but not everybody has a family. Many don't have a family to provide for their needs. This can be due to many circumstances, and there are times when we must create a family of choice. As a minister and having moved several places around the United States, I learned the importance of creating a family of choice. And you can't force it. You kind of watch and you feel the energy and you draw it. And so I could not be with my family on holidays because a minister is in church on the holidays with their church family. And when I could, as soon as that service was over, I would try to hop on a plane and get to them, which is not always the easiest thing to do. Sometimes I'd hop in my car and get to them, but it's not easy. But okay, so let's say you don't have the family, you create a family. I can tell you the families I've had everywhere I lived that I served a church. They're the folks who have you over on the holidays. They're the folks that you sit and sip coffee with. And, you can't do it with everybody in the church. There's just not much that you go around. You can love everybody in the church, but you can't have a family circle. You need to have your family circle, which is a safe place. And some of my family circle, I would find at the bowling alley, my bowling team, you know? Okay. So, we create a family of choice. We can connect to like-minded people who will support us in being our best self. They will hold us accountable while accepting us as we are. We can establish traditions within our family of choice, celebrations, rites, rituals that support our shared beliefs, not our differences, but what we agree on. Now, I have family members who I would love to have that happen with, but it's not happening because of uh, our differences, our political differences. I am willing to agree to disagree. Not everyone is. I am not willing to fight a futile battle where there's no winners and everyone loses. And if they don't understand that, I love you, I bless you, I appreciate you, I release you. When you're ready to be together again, where we can be together, in the light of love, I am so ready. I'm not mad at them. I pray for them. But that's just the way it is. So, fortunately, I got a lot of other family around that I can practice my family with, and I have friends that's the same thing. Um, there are abundant opportunities we can begin right this minute to strengthen the families we have and build new family units based on universal principles of truth. A great start can be your church family. If you have a church that feeds you, that you agree with the teaching, that you love the people there, they are your spiritual family. Love them, enjoy them, appreciate them, and tithe to the church, because the church doesn't need money. We need the church. And if you want the things the church can provide, tithe to it. Just saying. Okay. If your church doesn't feed your soul, you may want to find one that does. Wow. When I found Unity, it was like, oh my God, I am home. I really felt that. I felt that in every fiber of my being. I still get the thrill all the time from Unity, which I so love. Okay, so now we go on to what about them? As a part of facing our own needs to heal and restore our union, we need to acknowledge and address them. These are the people on the other side of the wall of consciousness, the wall that separates us. If we are to become one, even oneness in diversity, as I've explained, we must remove the bricks in the wall. The bricks are ugly and dirty. They carry the names prejudice, hate, jealousy, partisanship, homophobia, Islamophobia, differences, social standing, popularity, poverty, sexism, and more. Ooh, that's a big list of things. And I'll bet you probably related to in your own life different people that expressed those challenges. Says the wall is as big as we will allow. So we always want to keep tearing the bridge down. We don't want to be the wall down, not the bridge. The bridge connects us. We want to keep tearing the wall down so that we will be able to be self-supporting. Okay. So we must have our own them and the reasons we have put up mental and emotional walls that separate us. This is as dangerous as a clogged artery in the physical body. The things they say and do that annoy us represent lessons we need to learn. That's why it's bothering us. If we cut off the flow of our unity, we block our ability to see and continue to learn. It's as much about us as it is about them. Each person is a child of God, perfect in spirit, potential, yet still working on our imperfections. It's difficult to accept that Jesus taught us to be warm and love ourselves and our enemies, and sometimes that's not easy to do. We think only how undeserving of our love they are. We fear the wrong and do we fear the wrong and only imagine what they might perpetrate in our lives. Very often we're thinking things about people they're not even thinking about. They never had a thought about it. Even someone that we've condemned in our mind for offending us, very often that offense is not even real. It's what we thought they were thinking. It's what we thought they were feeling. It's what we thought they were doing, especially if we base it on past behavior. Because, like Dr. Phil says, the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. But people do change and grow. Instead of looking at others and judging by appearances, we can see the things that bother us as effects. Behind every appearance or behavior lies a cause. The cause is what needs to be fixed. The cause may go back years or lifetimes. But They, like the rest of us, want healing to help others at heart. Judgment is not healing, nor is hate, nor is excellence. Okay. Without exception, everyone I have met in this lifetime has issues to heal. And that includes that person that's in the mirror every day when I look in it. Yeah. That's why we're here. And that's why we're all in it together. Think about the people you have drawn into your life. What do you have to learn from them? What do they have to teach you? What do you have to teach them? And where does that come from in consciousness? We're in this all together in the end. We need to address unacceptable behaviors, but without judgment. Issues separate us, not the people themselves. It is not the people that in my own family who I am separated from. It is the issues that separate us, not the people themselves. Jesus was right when he told us to pray for our enemies. Anyone can love people they like, but what about when we can't bear the thought of them? It's not a matter of what, but how we live. Um, okay, H. Emily Cady, author of Lessons in Truth, said, anytime we get a serves them right attitude, we can know we have not forgiven completely. We pray for our enemies. We do not pray that they get what they want. I think that's why we don't want to pray for our enemies, because we think that if we pray for our enemies, they'll get what they want. But if we pray for our enemies, our perceived enemies, they will get what they need. And that could be something wonderful, and it could be a lesson. Another flipping growth opportunity, as we say in Unity. We pray for our enemy. We do not pray that they get what they want or what we perceive they deserve, what we perceive they deserve. We pray for their enlightenment and they will find their way. To me, this comes down to enlightenment and accountability. People need to be accountable for their actions, but we also need to be accountable for ours and accountable for calling them out to come up higher so they don't wind up in a rickety little prison jail somewhere. So I invite you to think on these things. And tomorrow we got that done. So tomorrow we're going to be doing part 7, Emergence of the Warriors. I'm so excited. I hope you're excited too. So meantime, God bless you good and have a wonderful evening. Bye bye.